Hey, it's Mike from the Logan and the Hobo RV Adventure channel. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about some of the biggest mistakes that new RV owners make.
Logan and the Hobo, best friends forever.
Alright, so I'm back. I know it's been a little while since I made a video. It's just been crazy with everything going on right now. And then I was actually having some technical difficulty. I do everything with my iPhone. I do all the video recording, video editing, all the music, all the audio, everything with the iPhone, and I was having some technical difficulty with that. So I finally got that sorted out, finally got some free time, and so I'm gonna pump out a video. Hey, make sure you stick around till the end of the video because I'm gonna show the personally most embarrassing mistake that I've ever made with a trailer, and it's cringeworthy. You don't wanna miss it, so I'm gonna show it at the end. Stick around. I'm not ashamed to say that I lurk around some internet forums, mostly RV forums, and you hear the same themes come up pretty often, especially with new RV owners. The same situations keep happening, and I think a lot of it's from a lack of understanding of how RVs are made and what RV warranties actually cover and what the owner responsibility is. And I think a lot of people think that it's like when you buy a new car that you should be able to get 3 years or 6 years pretty much worry-free with just a limited amount of maintenance done, out of your new car and not have any major problems. Well, I think people find that when you buy an RV or a trailer, it's a different experience than that. That you have to put in a lot more effort into maintaining and repairing, and things go wrong a lot quicker in an RV or a trailer than they do in a new car. Talk about a couple things that some topics that just frequently come up, and I'm going to start with maybe not the most common, but it's definitely common. A lot of people have this problem, and I think it's the one that leads to the most damage and the most expensive to repair, and that's maintaining your RV roof. Most modern RVs come with what's generally referred to as a rubber roof, and it's either made out of a material called EPDM or TPO, and they're both kind of white and they look like rubber. And those roof membranes, they're made to last basically the lifetime of the RV or the trailer. However, all the seams on there, the seams where it attaches to the front of the front cap and the back cap and the sides, and then everything that's attached to the roof, like the vent covers, the AC, the refrigerator vent, all that stuff, all those seals need to be checked, and they need to be checked every 90 days, starting with the first 90 days of ownership. And so if you're getting water intrusion into your RV or trailer and you've had it for a couple of years, and I hear this a lot, that people are like, I've only had my trailer for 1 or 2 years and I'm getting water intrusion and it's causing a massive amount of damage, it should be covered under warranty. Well, in a lot of those cases, it's not covered under warranty because it says, at least for Keystone, right in the manual, that it's the owner's responsibility to check all the roof seams every 90 days and starting with the first 90 days. So if you buy an RV and you're not looking at the roof, then be prepared to be in trouble with that. By far, the most common problem I hear about, and this was my own experience as well, people when they first buy an RV or trailer, they don't understand how the deep cycle battery works. They don't understand that you can't discharge a flooded wet cell battery below 50% state of charge. If you do that very many times, or if you continually take it all the way down to zero, it's going to damage the battery, it's not going to hold a charge, and then things in your trailer aren't going to work, or things in your RV aren't going to work when you need them to work. Like I said, I learned this firsthand. I learned it the hard way. I went through 2 batteries without really, I think I thought I understood the concept, but I didn't really understand the concept. First of all, I was just rolling with a single 112 volt hybrid RV Marine. They call it a deep cycle battery, but it's not really a deep cycle battery, so you're kind of starting out handicapped there. It doesn't have that many amp hours. The amp hours is the amount of energy that the battery can store and later be used to power stuff. Those kind of batteries don't have that many amp hours anyway, and then when you deplete them all the way down to zero, do that a couple times, then that battery just doesn't hold a charge anymore, and it's basically useless. And so it's a common complaint that people think their batteries are going bad too quickly, when really I think it's a case of people just don't take care of their batteries. And then if you're doing dry camping, if you're camping 1 or 2 nights, 3 nights off grid on a regular basis, I highly recommend upgrading to 2 6-volt golf cart batteries. or two 12-volt batteries, but I think the general consensus is 6-volt golf cart batteries are better bang for your buck as far as amp hours are concerned. You upgrade to the 2-battery system, and it's going to give you plenty of power to camp off-grid, and it'll be a lot less of a worry that you're depleting the batteries. Also, people don't understand storing batteries. I didn't understand storing batteries. So I keep my trailer at my house. I'm fortunate in that way it's parked in the backyard, and I have a shore power hookup for it, so the trailer is always plugged in. So what I do now, and it works well, is I keep the batteries on the trailer. I keep the trailer plugged in. The onboard charger converter, because I'm plugged into shore power, is providing power to the trailer, and that charger converter is keeping the batteries maintained and topped off. And so I don't really have to worry about them. I check the water level about once a month, and that's pretty much it. The onboard charger converter in the trailer does the rest. When I first bought the trailer, I wasn't keeping the batteries locked. The tongue of the trailer kind of sticks out into the driveway, and the battery got stolen. You know, not a huge deal. So I bought a new battery, and I didn't know how to secure it, and so I just took the battery off when I wasn't using the trailer and kept it in the garage. I kept it sitting in the garage, and it wasn't on any kind of charger, any kind of maintenance charge or anything like that. And the battery over time will just slowly discharge, and it's just like what I mentioned before. If you're taking that battery below 50% state of charge or letting it get all the way depleted, you do that a couple times, and then it damages the battery to the point where it won't hold a charge anymore. So that's mistake number one, is storing the battery without having it connected to a good battery maintainer. And then mistake number two that I hear a lot is people who put their RV in storage or their trailer in storage and leave the battery connected, and they think that everything will be good, the battery will be fine. It's not going to be fine. It's just going to discharge normally. And then also there's always these little parasitic loads in the trailer that are drawing power from the battery. So if you leave it parked for like a week, it's going to drain your battery. So a lot of people run into trouble with that. And so what you can do is totally disconnect the battery by having a true battery disconnect switch, or removing the negative battery cable from the battery. That will completely disconnect it if you want to leave the battery on during storage. But then, like once a month, every couple of weeks, come check the battery, check the water level in it, and put a charge on it for a while to get it charged back up. So this is probably the cheapest solution, the cheapest thing you can buy that prevents catastrophic damage from happening. What I'm talking about is a water pressure regulator. And you can get a water pressure regulator, or more commonly what a lot of people have is a water pressure reducer. Either one is fine. The difference is a reducer just has a set pressure that it's reducing the water pressure coming into your trailer, and a regulator, you can actually adjust the pressure level coming into your trailer. The reason you need this is you don't know the water pressure of the water source that you're connected to, especially if you're going to different parks here and there. You don't know. A lot of those parks have a lot of very high PSI, and the trailer is built with PEX piping, and it's not designed to withstand pressure over, like, I think the water pump's set at like 45 PSI or something like that. And so the water pressure regulator, water pressure reducer, keeps the water pressure low enough so that when you connect to the city water, it doesn't blow out your pipes, it doesn't blow out the connections. And what I've heard people happening is they come into a campground, they park, they connect the city water without any kind of pressure regulator, they leave, they go on their day trip, they go out to eat at Carl's Jr. or whatever, and they come back and a pipe is burst and the trailer is now flooded and there's water pouring out the door. And how horrible would that be? That would be awful. So a couple things to remember there is, always, if you're connected to city water, use a water pressure regulator or a water pressure reducer at the least. And then whenever I leave the trailer, I turn the water off. That way, if anything does go wrong, there's not going to be water pouring into the trailer. And along somewhat similar lines of having the water pressure regulator that's regulating the level of water, the flow of water coming into the trailer, you want to have some sort of protection on your electrical system. So when you plug into shore power, you want electrical management protection that's protecting your trailer from the power that's coming in. And it's more than just a surge protector. Don't just go with a surge protector, because a surge is not what you're concerned about. Yes, a surge can damage your trailer, but you're far more likely to run into a problem where you plug into a pedestal of a campground and the wires have been wired improperly and the polarity is reversed. That's going to do damage to the sensitive equipment in the trailer, like the charger, the converter, the air conditioning compressor, things like that. Also, another problem is low voltage. Some of the older parks, a lot of people plugged in, a lot of people running their air conditioner or whatever, the voltage starts to drop, or for whatever reason the voltage starts to drop. Low voltage can really damage your equipment, especially, like I said, the air conditioning compressor, the charger converter, the microwave, stuff like that can't tolerate low voltage. And so surge protector is not enough. You have to have a true electrical management system. Electrical management system will protect against high voltage. It'll protect against the surge. It'll protect against low voltage, open ground, reverse polarity, high frequency, low frequency. Pretty much any electrical malfunction it will prevent. And so if you're pulling into campgrounds and you're plugging in your shore power to an unknown pedestal without any active protection on there, you're just rolling the dice, and it could be a very, very costly mistake. All right, so some other things you don't want to do. You don't want to connect your freshwater hose to the black tank flush and leave that running. It's going to overflow your tank. And on a similar note, you don't want to connect your potable water line to the black tank flush ever, because that's nasty. You want to have a separate, just a utility hose for that. You don't want to leave your black tank valve open while you're camping. You want to leave it closed until the black tank is full, and then you want to dump it so it has all that volume to dump. Otherwise, all the liquid's going to drain out and all the solid's going to remain behind in a pyramid, what's lovingly known as the poo pyramid. And also, you always want to dump the gray tank after the black tank to help clean out that line. You don't want to run the slide or any hydraulic jacks or anything like that without the battery being connected. Here's the problem with running the slide out if there's no battery connected. The slide out operates on the 12-volt power system, and so it can be operated when the trailer's not plugged into shore power. That's pretty obvious. If there's no battery connected, then all the power to run the slide is coming from the converter, and that converter is not really set up to put out that much power, the power it requires to run the slide. And so that's why you need the battery in that system in order to provide a sufficient amount of power to run the slide out. Otherwise, you risk damaging the converter. As promised, here's the biggest mistake that I've ever made with a trailer. So there's a phenomenon called tail end swing. When you're turning with the trailer obviously pivots on the axles, and then any part of the trailer that's behind the axles is going to swing wide. And so I was actually trying to park at a friend's house that was going to let us driveway camp at their house. And I swung out way wide, and I was next to, it turns out, my friend's car. I didn't know it was their car, to make a real wide right turn, and I was too close to the car, and that tail end swung out, and the back of the trailer hit the back of their parked car, and it was not good. I fixed it myself, and the repair is good. It's watertight. Just the corner of the trailer got messed up, and later I showed it to a good buddy of mine, Eric, who also does trailer camping, and Eric's only response was, "Who did that repair? A 3-year-old?" Thanks for watching this episode of the Logan and the Hobo RV Adventure channel. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, give me the thumbs up. If you like the content, please subscribe to the channel. It's free, it helps me out, and we'll see you in the next video.